All right, PitchGround, welcome back to another launch day. I'm so excited to be here because there's so much information that we're going to be sharing with you. But before we do that, I see a couple guys logging on to the call. Jay, tell us where you're from. Akam, tell me where you're from. Uh, I'm going to butcher your name, but Bindia and Arvayapali. If you guys let me know where you guys are from, welcome to our call. We're excited to have you here. And if you guys are wondering what is Launch Tuesdays, this is essentially the day where we have a kick-ass founder of an amazing SaaS join us to live demo their product. And a lot of people wonder, why do we do that? But before we even get into that, you might be wondering who I am. So my name is Richard Chen, head of content here at PitchGround. I have a quick question for you guys who are watching. We got Akam from Munich. Who here is an entrepreneur? Let me know in the chat if you're an entrepreneur by typing out the word entrepreneur. It's so exciting to see entrepreneurs join us on the call from all over the world, because at the end of the day, that's what defines an entrepreneur. We're the crazy ones who work crazy hours because we believe in something, right? And let me tell you a quick story about myself before we even get started. I actually started out my career while I was in college. I was studying human resources, and I had 4 full-time jobs. And you might be like, what? How do you have 4 full-time jobs? Well, my parents, they're like the traditional type of parents. They're like, hey, you need to get a prestigious job. So I got a job at a law firm working 9 to 5. I went to school from 6 to 10. And then on weekends, I worked at the Hard Rock Cafe and nightclubs after I got off of work. So I only slept 3 to 4 hours a day, and I did this for 4 years. And I hustled, I worked hard. And then you know what I realized? I caught the entrepreneur bug. I love to sell things. I love to represent products that change lives. And, fast forward, I was recruited into a direct sales company. I rose in the ranks, and I eventually became the executive director of the company, which is a pretty monumental achievement. But then something happened. And, this is usually when people say, well, life isn't fair. And who here has heard that term before? Right? Everybody. Well, life was not very fair to me. Life hit me really hard, and it hit me in the form of a car. And in one night, overnight, I lost everything. I lost my home, I lost my car, I lost my career, and I lost my health. And who here has experienced something like that before? Right? Can anyone relate? And then here's what happened next. I had to reinvent myself. And if any one of you guys ever had to go through a career change, say right here, because I want to see how many of you guys have been through a life-changing experience before. And usually these life-changing experiences are not the best of experiences, right? And I was forced into that position. I was forced to take action, and I needed a way to find a way to work from home. Nobody would hire me because I was still going to physical therapy 3 times a week. So guess what I did? I started my own business, and not any regular type of business. I started a digital marketing business, right? I help companies build websites. I set up their social media. I help drive their marketing strategy behind the scenes. And Facebook for me drove those sales for me when I first started, right? Because I put up a quick post on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, I'm launching a website service. If you need help building a website, contact me. And I got my first couple of sales that way. And then it grew. I started scaling. I started offering more services. And over the years, you guys know, Facebook evolved, right? It became this huge platform, and still is today, for an opportunity for you to reach out to millions of people, billions of people that you never would have met any other way. True or not true? And if you guys agree, say I agree in the comments. And I missed out on those opportunities. And this is the reason why I'm so excited to be here with Steve today. I personally can't sell something I don't believe in. And you know why I'm excited? If you guys are curious about why I'm excited, just type in I'm excited. If you guys are just joining us, you might be wondering, why am I screaming into the mic? Well, it's because I'm really excited about what we have to share with you guys today. And I'm excited because I'm in a room full of entrepreneurs, people who are digital marketers who want to deliver more value. That's the key word, more. We want to deliver more value to their customers. And this is why I want to bring Steve McDonald onto the call. I know it's really early for him right now, but he's a pro. He's an expert in social media marketing on Facebook. He's worked with billion-dollar brands like Nike, Duracell, Procter & Gamble, and the list goes on. And, what Steve will share with you guys will blow you away today. You will make more money. And I want to know if you guys are making more money, then type in money, right? And if you guys want to save time, type in time. And if you guys are ready for Steve to jump onto the call, type in I am ready. Because I know that Steve is super excited about sharing not only where he came from, where his beginnings came from for LeadKlozer, but how you guys can now start implementing this right away in your business. So Steve, welcome to our call. How you doing?
I'm doing great. That's a fantastic intro. Thank you.
All right, so we got a lot of people who are ready for you to start diving into what you're going to share with us today. But just a quick background for yourself. You know, where you're from, where you currently live, and how did you get into LeadKlozer?
So LeadKlozer came out of a necessity. So I ran for many, many years, trained thousands of entrepreneurs and digital marketing agencies and consultants on how to use social media to market them or their clients' business. So I had my own social media marketing university. And as social media marketing evolved, right, and it's actually quite easy to get engagements online. If you have something of value that you're offering for a very specific audience and you know how to communicate that. So I was having all kinds of my university students coming to me and saying, Steve, this is great, right? I'm getting engagements everywhere. How do I track them? I can't keep up. I'm overwhelmed. And I said, well, here, let me figure out a way that we're going to do that, because you're right. This is crazy. You're doing all this hard work and you're missing leads all the time and you're stressed and you're overwhelmed because you can't keep track of all that. No human can possibly keep track of all of that. So I went looking for a social media marketing CRM, customer relationship management tool. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that is in just a few minutes. But the bottom line is it's a tool that lets you track and organize at the individual lead level all the engagements that you have with leads. Because we've all heard that, the saying, the more engaged a lead is, the higher priority that lead is for you and your business. And that just makes perfect sense, right?
Right.
So how do you know that? Like, Richard, you've been doing this for years with your clients. Other than just kind of off the top of your head, I've seen that name a bunch before. How do you absolutely know who are your most engaged leads? I've talked to the biggest social media marketing companies in the world, and they don't know the answer to that question, right? So that's a very, very traditional question or problem to solve in the world of marketing in general. And there's plenty of CRM tools that do it outside of the social media marketing category, but nobody is doing it inside the social media marketing category until now. That's what we're doing with LeadKlozer. So it's like everything. You got in the car accident, you had to reinvent yourself. I had, people that you had a need, right? And you rose to the occasion. So I looked at this problem and I said, this is just unacceptable. Right? It got me mad. I mean, at the time I was doing, as just marketing my own university, I was getting on average around 2,000 webinar registrants a month. 2,000, right? But how do I possibly keep track of, I could keep track of the registrations, but the registrations were the immediate circle. Outside of that were comments and replies and reactions, right? And chatbot messages on this post and that post. And so there was a world of social media interactions that were happening, and I could just never take advantage of them.
Exactly.
I needed something to help, some kind of artificial intelligence, some tools that would grab all of that, make sense out of it, automatically prioritize it, and then serve it up for me in a way that I could say, oh, great. These are my priorities. These are the people that I actually want to have a conversation with. I want to follow up. I want to close that business. And so that's what we're doing here. And that's what we're going to demo today in a big way.
Awesome. I'm really excited about it. And just so for my information, who here on the call has ever lost an opportunity on Facebook because it got buried in the avalanche of chat messages or notifications? Or if you guys had somebody that said, hey, I want to know more about this product, and you completely overlooked that comment because it came in overnight and you didn't see that comment because you just weren't on Facebook at the time, right? If you had that experience before, say in the chat, I had that experience. Because what Steve will show you right now will blow your mind.
Yeah, Akeem just said everybody. And the missed lead opportunities, Richard, that you're talking about there, they're the ones that we can all kind of raise our hand and say, I've obviously had that issue. But I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to show you how to find missed lead opportunities today that you didn't ever even know that you had. That's, I mean, missing a comment, absolutely, right? We can't do all of that. But there's ways that leads are interacting with you as they check you out. They lurk behind the scenes in social media, that lurking process that we all know happens, right? Social media is the easiest way for somebody, from afar, just to be constantly kind of looking at what you're doing and checking you out. But those are people that as they do that, they're raising their hand and they're saying, I'm interested in your business. Those are the invisible leads. Right. Those are the leads that are super important. So just as an example, we have additional webinars in the series coming up. I'm going to talk about 10 different kinds of leads and how you need to be keeping track of every single different type of lead that's coming towards you in your business based on what the work you're already doing, the efforts you're already creating. Right. So we'll get into all of that in a big way here.
Perfect. So I know you had a bunch of statistics put together. Why don't we show that to our viewers so that way they have an understanding of why it's so important to have a CRM for Facebook?
Fantastic. Okay, let me share my screen here. All right, let me know if you're seeing my screen. There's a big problem slide up there.
It's loading.
Okay.
And we got it.
All right, so this is the problem, right? These are all the engagements, the interactions that happen on a regular basis with your page as you're marketing your business on Facebook. And we can't see all of that. We can't keep track of all of that. So this is what happens. We get overwhelmed, right?
Exactly.
Because our brains can't keep track of that. Well, Forbes magazine termed it really well. This was an article. They said more than 80% of small to medium-sized enterprises reported feeling stressed and overwhelmed and panicking every day about their social media. Now, there's a number of reasons that go into that, but missing out on those lead opportunities and not being able to see the bigger picture is certainly a big part of that. So when we talk about how do we take the world of social media marketing and marketing on Facebook in particular, because we're launching with an integration with Facebook first and foremost, and then we're going to roll out the other social networks. Right. But if you can put a CRM tool on top of the social network, guess what happens? So CRMs in general, that, without a CRM system, 79% of all marketing leads are never converted to sales. 79%. So this is the stuff that makes me mad, right? I think about my business. I think about missed opportunities. The average improvement reported, we've all heard of Salesforce.com, right? This is their numbers. They, on average, have their clients report a 20% increase in lead volume. So just identifying these new leads. The lurking leads is just one example of that. A 30% increase in lead conversion and a 25% increase in the return on investment that you're getting for your marketing efforts. So without that, not only can we just say generically, we know we're missing comments and things over here, we're missing hard revenue coming into our business.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to split out the contacts that a contact relationship management system should be following and tracking into two major buckets: leads and customers or clients. Because we all know that the best way to increase revenue is to sell an existing customer. It's 5 times as easy to upsell or cross-sell. So that's what LeadKlozer does. Okay, and we're just about ready to get in and start the demo. But we're the first and only social media engagement and conversation tool for tracking, prioritizing, and I'm going to show you that in a big way. We're going to automatically prioritize all the leads that you have, and then responding without ever leaving LeadKlozer to those individual leads, all in one place. LeadKlozer.
Nice. All right.
So here's the last slide, and then we'll get into the demo. This is what a social network can't do, because they're just not designed for it, right? They can't track on the individual lead level. They don't show history of engagements. They don't show any context around how important, when somebody comments on a post, you don't know how important that person is. So there's no prioritization. There's no categorizing the leads. There's no scheduling follow-ups. There's no searching and coming up with lists of appropriate leads based on what you have going on in your business. There's no reminders when somebody comes and, maybe a really important lead interacts with you, a direct reminder coming your way. There's no accountability. There's just no focus on sales. So that's okay. They're a social network. Let's put all of that through LeadKlozer on top of the social network so you can get the returns that you deserve out of your business. Makes sense?
Makes so much sense. So I actually had so much experience with this where I worked with a client. They were trying to scale their customer relationship with their leads online. And because they had a support team of 15 customer service agents, all trying to manage one Facebook page messaging profile, everybody was like climbing over each other, trying to make sure that all conversations were answered. And on top of that, they also had a chatbot that was initiating conversations with people all the time. So they were literally missing out the majority of the conversations when they had the customer's attention. And it was such a huge problem. And I believe that Facebook should have done something about it at that point. But again, like you mentioned, Facebook is not a CRM. It's not designed to help you get more sales. It's just, they kind of experiment with everything, right? So I'm excited for what you're about to show us because it's going to change a lot of people's businesses.
Well, fantastic. Let me do this. Let me stop the sharing here and start to share the application itself. Let's see, Chrome tab.
So while we're waiting for Steve to share his screen, if you guys can help us understand what you guys do better, just type in the comments what type of business you guys have. So that way we can actually help you guys understand how you can use this tool to the best of its capabilities.
All right. So let me just start out by saying we are now on the homepage or the main dashboard of LeadKlozer. And a few things that you're seeing here. On the right side, this is called Live Tracker. Think of this as an engagement inbox for all of your Facebook pages. You may have one Facebook page for your business. You may have multiple Facebook pages for your business. But all the engagements come in here. It's a live feed. So that's why I call it's an engagement inbox for all your Facebook pages. And you can scroll up and down and you can find a certain engagement and you can click on it, any individual engagement. You know who made the engagement. And right here, you can open up the post or the ad itself. That's a video. And here's 5 comments. You can like, you can reply. I'll click it, I won't, and move on. It's just that simple. We call Live Tracker a live interaction dashboard. But I'm going to point out a couple of things that are very different because there are other social media marketing tools, right, that show live interactions. But here's one of the biggest differences. Remember back to what we just said, right? The more engaged a lead is with you, the higher quality or higher priority that lead is. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but 70% of engagements on Facebook are reactions, likes, hearts, smiley faces, right? So if we're really trying to see how engaged somebody is, because you might think, well, it's just a reaction, right? Well, but that's a micro event that somebody had with your business. They stopped in their news feed, they read your post, they read your ad, and they took the time to make a reaction, like it, put a heart on it, right? You have them in your mind space at that moment. And I'll tell you a story why this is an example right away of a missed lead opportunity. So there was a woman I was going back and forth on my Facebook inbox and about LeadKlozer. And over 2 or 3 days, the conversation just kind of fell apart and she wasn't responding. And so I thought, well, okay, on to the next lead, right?
Right.
Well, what I found out is that she was lurking. So I was doing Facebook Lives every week, every Wednesday with Religion for LeadKlozer, doing Facebook Lives. Well, there's another dashboard I'll show you here soon where you can search for your highest priority leads. And it's a list of leads and they're prioritized for you. She came up into the top 10 on that list. And her name was last name was Lovejoy. So I remembered. I'm like, oh, that's that woman that the conversation fell apart, right? Why is she rising up on my lead list? Well, she had not only attended every single Facebook Live for 5 weeks in a row, but she had liked or commented on every single live session. So what we do is we have what's called a SMART score. It's a lead scoring mechanism. So you can see SE25 here. We'll go up and down here, SE49, SE21. Those are lead scores. And every good CRM system has a way that they help you prioritize all of your leads. So they have some kind of way that they score those leads. The industry, the marketing industry in general, calls it lead scoring. So our lead scoring system is called SMART score. That's why you see these SC points down here. So every time she interacted with me, we added points to her SMART score. And every list, and I'll show you how you can search and bring up lists inside of LeadKlozer of just the right set of leads. But one example is just a list of all of your leads, right? And she was in the top 10 because her SMART score kept increasing. Now, if I wanted to know that on my own without a CRM, I would have had to looked at all the interactions on the Facebook inbox that I had with her. I would have had to go to 5 separate posts where I had done Facebook Lives. I would have had to click the like button and a list drops down of everybody who reacted to it. I would have had to magically remember that list or try to copy it, which you can't on Facebook, put it into a spreadsheet, put 5 rows together of all those likes, cross-analyze all of them, and to even come close to what LeadKlozer just did automatically for me. That is a massive example of a missed lead opportunity you never even thought about. Am I seeing this or not? Because we are literally blind to 90 to 95% of the engagements that happen around our business. Because we're not there, we're not present, we can't see them, we can't track them, we can't organize them, and so therefore we can't prioritize them. So Live Tracker is the way that you see live interactions, right? So I'll scroll down here. Here's somebody that commented on a post. Now, I am clicking on a specific engagement from this specific person who commented on this specific post. So I'm going to click this open, and Mongola Kamiali, I think is her name. And here we open it up. And even though there's 6 comments, we're just showing Mongola's, right? Because that's the individual line item that we clicked on. So again, I could like it, I could reply, right? And do anything I wanted to here. If I wanted to see the other comments, I just click 6 comments right there, and there they all are. But we've all had the issue, right, of trying to go to a post on Facebook and scrolling up and down through the comments to find the person we were trying to reply to, and you're wasting time. Every post you have to actually view on Facebook, and you can from right here. I'm going to give you an example. Look at how long it took to view this post, right? So this was Magola,
Yep.
And I clicked it, and it came up. If I want to see it on Facebook, this is going to open a browser window, and it's just going to load that post on Facebook. Let's see how long Facebook takes to load that post. So we're waiting. We're waiting for Facebook. It's starting to load. Okay, there it is. All right. So not hugely long, but it took maybe 6 seconds to load versus a second. In a world of lead follow-up and management, if you're sitting down and you're saying, I got an hour to do my core follow-ups in my day, you're going like this, right? You're trying to move. The last thing you want to do is be opening up other browser tabs and Facebook and going to this post and that post and scrolling up and down the list. It seems like a very, very simple thing, but when you start using LeadKlozer, you are going to completely appreciate that, A, you don't have to go to the different social networks. You don't have to go to different pages. You don't have to do any of that. Now, here's another thing about Live Tracker is we want to make sure that you have a lot of context about the engagements that are coming in here, right? So remember, that was one of the things that we said, that Facebook, like a social network, they're not going to tell you when somebody's commenting, how important that person is. What's their smart score? Right. They're not going to tell you something like this green dot. That's called the contact's status. And everybody comes in as neutral, green. And let's say that you have a good conversation with somebody. There's a way that LeadKlozer would know, like the quality of the conversation was so great. They were like, oh, this is fantastic. How do I find out more? You might say, you know what? I'm going to change that to orange, which is warm, or red, which is hot. So you can scroll up and down and you can see the color of their dot. You can see their smart score points. And here's something really important. This is called the one-on-one communication dot. Okay. And when you're looking at somebody and you're looking up and down, the column over here, let's find somebody that, okay, here's this person. She made a reaction, okay, Eve, and she's got an SC23. Now, normally a reaction, you just kind of go, oh, okay, I like getting lots of reactions on my posts, my ads, because they make them look popular. Well, let's say that Eve had a really high smart score and an orange or red dot. So she was an important lead. That was the context you saw, but she just reacted. But you can look over here and you can say, you know what though? This is telling me I've got the ability to have a one-on-one communication with her. So I click on it, and this shows that she has commented on a recent post. So the most recent post that she's commented on will be listed right here. I can click on it. It opens up right to her comment. I can reply, send, and move on. But this is a trigger. This is one of those micro events where there is a lead that is important to you because you've seen the context over here that you've got one-on-one communication with. So where normally somebody just reacts, you're like, oh, great. Here is a trigger. A important lead just reacted to you, and you have the ability to follow up with them one-on-one. So I could have gone to that comment on the other post and said, hey, I saw you just reacted to the post this week, Sugar Mama Strong, and here's why that post was really important, and it relates to the comment you had here, right? This gives you the ability, the reason to be following up with an important lead. This is a second major example of a missed lead opportunity. This person stopped in their newsfeed on Facebook. They read this post. They liked this post. This person has interacted with you before. They're an important lead, and you've got a way to communicate with them one-on-one. LeadKlozer can tell you all of that and give you that ability. Just to boom, open, reply, send, and move on. It's that quick.
So I want to jump in really quick and make sure that everybody understands that everything that you do within the LeadKlozer software will reflect on Facebook itself. So you actually don't even need to open up Facebook on a separate browser page. Everything is done in-house, and it allows you to engage directly from within LeadKlozer. So you don't get distracted, because you guys scroll through your news feed sometimes, and who here has been guilty of that, right? Like, who here has scrolled through their news feed, saw a video of a kitty or a video of a puppy, and you completely stop what you were doing just to watch that 1 minute video? right? And that distraction is actually one of the reasons why it's so difficult for people to market on Facebook. And that's why LeadKlozer is so powerful, because you are focused directly on all the people who are going through those micro transactions with you, micro events with you, so that you can engage with them on a bigger level, where you can say, hey, we noticed that you like this image, or you commented on this, how can we help you? And that direct engagement with those customers can make a huge difference in your conversion rate. So Steve, back to
Yeah.
you.
So really, really good point there. Because we are a third-party approved application developer for Facebook, we have access to their API, which is just the data pipeline between Facebook and LeadKlozer. So not only do things automatically come in, like at the top of this at Live Tracker here, when an interaction happens on any of your pages, it'll just automatically just pop in here in real time. So you don't have to refresh the screen or anything. And then when you pop open, one of these posts and react, reply, and like that, we send it back through the data pipeline, the API. And so you'll see that if I were to reply to a comment on a post inside of LeadKlozer, you could then go to that same post on Facebook, and you'd see that the reply would be there, because we're a surrogate for Facebook is basically what it comes down to. Anything you do here automatically populates on your Facebook pages. It's one and the same.
That's huge.
It's just easier to keep track of it all here. So one of the things that you'll want to do very quickly is you say, okay, this is fantastic, Steve, right? So this is, a fire hose of all the engagements from all my pages. You'll see, like, here's a page called Parker Fit Body Boot Camp. Here's one called, Mary Van Doren's Sugar Mama Strong. There'll be LeadKlozer in there. So this is multiple pages, all those interactions. What if I want to filter those down? This is going to blow you away. You click on columns over here, or Live Tracker columns here. And if any of you have ever used a social media marketing tool called Hootsuite, then this is going to kind of feel familiar to you, because what we're doing is we're filtering Live Tracker into columns of just certain kinds of information. So in other words, like over here, this is a column of just all my lead ads, my Facebook lead ads, just those forms. And they'll, all these columns will populate in real time. So here's my LeadKlozer Facebook page inbox. There's just all my inbox messages from my LeadKlozer page. Well, here's the all Facebook page inbox. I have, and I can edit this, I can see that I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 different pages attached to my LeadKlozer account. So now, instead of having 4 different browser tabs open with 4 different pages to see 4 different inboxes, I have one inbox for all my Facebook pages. Pretty amazing stuff. And I can create new columns. So let's come over here. Oops. I went back in the browser tab. Hang on just a second.
I just wanted to shout out Jay Power. If you guys didn't see, he was actually in LeadKlozer's inbox. So Jay Power, you're on the call. You actually are in the LeadKlozer ecosystem now.
Yep.
Yeah,
he sent a message at 9:01 p.m. last night. I'm interested in joining your beta.
So actually, let's open that up since Jay's on the call, so that way Jay can see actually how this works in real time.
So I'm just going to click on, I can go to Jay's contact profile, which I haven't shown you yet, or I can open up the message thread itself. So there it is. This is the entire thread with Jay. And, Facebook does that get started. And then we have an automatic reply that comes out. You can set that up on your page, right? And then you said, I'm interested in joining your beta program. Can you please let me know the details? So Jay, I'm going to reply to you right now. Glad that you are interested. We'll see you on the webinar, which we're seeing you right now. And I send. Okay?
Hey Jay, let us know when you get it.
Yeah, I'll open up my LeadKlozer Facebook page inbox just to show you the stuff that you do inside of LeadKlozer, that it actually, immediately goes and gets shown up on, the Facebook inbox, the posts, the ads, things like that. again, Facebook, you think somebody makes like $40 billion. There you are, you glad that you're interested, right? We just did that from inside of LeadKlozer because we were tracking and we were looking at, oh, now what happened here? I closed that and LeadKlozer automatically reminds you, hey, you just interacted with a new lead, right? Do you want to schedule a follow-up appointment with that person? So Jay, follow up after the webinar. Let's you and I talk after the webinar. This is a reminder to me, and I'm going to follow up. Today's a hugely busy day. Let's follow up tomorrow morning. I'm going to send you a message over the inbox. Maybe we'll get on a Zoom call or something at 9 a.m. my time. I got to figure out where you are, and I'm going to save that. So now I'll just go back to the homepage here. And I'm going to show you that under my schedules, smart schedules, and they're smart because they actually remind you when you're interacting with somebody to schedule an appointment. There's no reason if you're spending time and you're messaging back and forth with somebody that it was worth your time then, it's worth your time then to follow up. So what's going to happen? I'm going to click open here. And it's going to say over the next 7 days on April 29th at 9 a.m., I've got a follow-up appointment with Jay Power. I can come over here and I can edit it. And I can say, yeah, you know what? I actually want to move that to 9:30. And now it's updated. And what's going to happen is tomorrow morning between 4 and 5 in my time zone, I'm going to get an email from LeadKlozer. And that email will be a reminder that says, hey, here's your follow-ups you have scheduled for today. So there's an incredible scheduling and follow-up system that's automatically built into LeadKlozer. So what you normally want to do, now I've let this account, this is a test account. So a lot of the things I've scheduled have gone past due. And I can just bring all those open and I can individually edit them. Or, I can select schedules to complete. I can complete all of them if they've just gone past due or I've taken them. But the bottom line is when you log into LeadKlozer, one of the first things you want to do, oh, and by the way, you send a message to Jay Power, right? So that came into my live tracker. The things you do, the things that other people do, those interactions, they're just all right there together. So not only did I respond from inside of LeadKlozer, but it came right into live tracker as well. Now, if I were to open up Jay's contact profile.
Let's see what Jay looks like.
Let's see what Jay looks like. Jay, you look like a feline. So here's what's important, okay? Now we're on the, so I'm going to say that because you've attended a webinar, you're really excited about this. I'm glad. I'm going to mark you as a warm contact. And your SE50 that's right here.
Oh, Steve, I think your screen is
going to go
did you
up.
open an additional window? We can't see it.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I opened up a different tab.
Yeah, you opened a different tab, yeah.
Let me just change. Okay, hang on. Let me change my screen sharing. Switch screen. Entire screen. Share. Okay. Tell me if you're seeing Jay's contact profile right now.
Not yet. I think you turned it off. I think you have to hit it again.
Oh. It looks like I did. Hang on. Share. You are sharing your screen. Okay. Let me know when it's up and running.
It went away. It said loading and then disappeared.
That's just weird. Why is it not letting me share? Application window, Chrome tab. It's only letting me share one tab at a time is what's happening. I'm trying to share my whole screen. It says I can, your entire screen, but then it goes away. So I'll just have to share an individual tab.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I'll go to another feature. So if I want to find an individual person, I can just search for them at the top of any page.
Can you share your tab? Oh, lost Steve. Well, while you guys are waiting for Steve to reconnect, how many of you guys are excited about what you've seen so far? Just let me know in the comments. I'm excited about the call today too because it has shown us so much potential for what this software can do, and you guys literally haven't even seen everything yet. When Steve demoed this to me last week, I was just literally blown away by the ability to follow up with leads, clients, people who aren't even part of your pipeline because all these micro events, right? And lurkers are a big deal. If you guys don't understand what a lurker is, it's essentially somebody who is just watching from the sidelines. Maybe they do very minimal following with you. Maybe they just like your page. Maybe they just follow your page. Maybe they uh, just try to follow you on some sort of level that you may not necessarily say, hey, that's a good lead. So Steve, welcome back to the call. I was just
So
recapping with everybody.
because the service here is browser based, I accidentally clicked on the close tab for big marker. So I apologize on that.
Oh, I see your screen now. Perfect.
Okay. All right. Great. That's good. So what I was saying here, I could either click right here, J Power, or I searched up here and I can go to Jay, your contact profile. So we're going to load that right now. And so this is what Jay looks like. That's why I was saying it looked like a feline. And oh, it looks like you replied, got it. Because I see in the contact's last activity, it's 6 minutes ago. In my last activity, it was 8 minutes ago. Glad that you're interested. So we show some really important information here, right? Right away, I can see the smart score points. Now, when you guys weren't seeing it, I had changed your contact status, Jay. You were neutral, and it said SE50, and I made you warm because you messaged me, you're attending a webinar. Now I'm going to make you hot, and watch the SE80 over here will actually increase because I'm telling LeadKlozer that you're a more important lead, right? So here we go. J Power now red and hot, and I have one-on-one communication with you because you sent me an inbox message. So I can open that inbox directly from inside your contact profile the same way we did from the live tracker columns, right? And like, cool, see you tomorrow. It's just that easy to be following up. And what's great about this is that, oh, now it's asking me, do we want me to, I just followed up with somebody who I had a schedule with. So it says, would you like to edit any of your existing schedules or add a new one for Jay? And I'm like, no, I like that one. That's part of that smart score. There's the cool, see you tomorrow. It automatically came in. I have the entire history of all of our interactions. So in the future, you go to the LeadKlozer, Facebook page and you like something, you comment on something, all of that will start coming in here. Now,
so I have a quick question. So in the top right, it says J Power interacted with your business 4 times. What counts as an interaction? Is it a message? Is it a like, comment, or all the above?
All the above. Anytime that you have created an engagement, a micro event with the Facebook page, it'll add to that right there.
Awesome. So basically, anyone who's watching, their objective is to increase that count.
Their objective is to increase that count, but the real objective, so absolutely, you want to have more interactions, right? Because that's a more engaged lead, right? But what you really want to do is you want to have more conversations, because we've talked about this, Richard, you and I before. We all have to have the belief, right, that if you get me into the right conversation with a qualified lead, I'm going to close that business, right?
Exactly.
So the whole goal here is to get into conversations with somebody. Now, that conversation could happen over the Facebook page inbox, Jay, like we're having here. I could message you and say, hey, Jay, let's get on a Zoom call tomorrow morning, right? In fact, if you onboard your account, today and you get in, message me back, and I'd love to do a Zoom with you tomorrow, and we'll just go over a few things. But so there's a number of different ways you can get into conversations. And let's just say, for an example, that Jay and I got together on a phone call or a Zoom call or something that doesn't come in automatically over social network API.
Right.
Well, I can add activity. So let's say that I want to add, an activity. The source is, online call, Zoom, Skype, Google, right? And let's just say that we had it yesterday, Jay. I was going to put it in there, at 9 a.m. and had a great call and invited to webinar. Let's just say we had that, right? And did I initiate that call or did the contact? So I'll just say that, Jay, you initiated that Zoom call, just for the sake of example here, and I'm going to save that. So this is a way that you can actually enter your own activities inside of LeadKlozer. It's going to remind me, I just entered an activity. Do I want to, I've got an upcoming schedule. Do I want to add or delete to that? Nope, we'll just leave it as it is, right? But now the SE points just went up to 118, right? Because down here, Jay Power contacted you via online call. So it's important to be able to add your own activities faster than it would be just to write it down on a piece of paper, right? And now it's a part of the activity history. It's a part of the engagement history. It's a part of the SMART score, right? And it's a part of the way that you could then search for different lists and different people. So let me show you how we organize contacts. This is super, super important because right after I show you how to organize contacts, I'm going to show you how to do a smart search, which is to bring up a list of leads that you actually want to be following up on that have a particular set of criteria around your business. So let's just say that I want to put a tag, and a tag is just a way that you assign, a tag to somebody that you could then search for them later. And we have 3 classes of tags. One is general tags. One is stages. This is, everybody has a different set of stages that you take a lead through as you nurture them to close the sale. So some businesses might actually have a stage where they have to send a proposal that gets accepted, right? So you would want to add a stage. I'm going to add a tag here, and I can click and I can see what tags I have. I'm going to put a tag in that says PitchGround. So I want to make sure that I know everybody that came from PitchGround. So there's not an existing one, so I have to click New. And there's the PitchGround tag, and it says, please select and add a timestamp for this tag. So when did I apply this tag? Well, I'm going to apply it today, right, on the 28th. Say add, and then save. So now I can do a search for everybody that got the PitchGround tag today. Let me show you an example of this. So I'm going to open up a smart search here. And I'm going to create a list of everybody that got the PitchGround tag today. Now, obviously, Jay, you're going to be the only one, right? And so of all my leads that got certain tags and are hot, because we marked you as hot too. So I can start piling up all this different criteria, and I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to choose the tag, and there's the new PitchGround tag. And I'm going to say today, search. And there's that whole list. But you can see the power of this, right? Yep. So over the coming weeks here, as new leads are, maybe I'm interacting with those people off of the LeadKlozer page because they're asking questions or different things. And I can mark them as PitchGround people, and I could keep tabs, right, on all the folks that I'm meeting via the PitchGround launch process for LeadKlozer. Now, what's important here is you're going to see a bird's eye view. So imagine, and I'll show you an example of a list that has lots and lots of people on it. But I call this the bird's eye view because I brought up a list of people that based on what's going on in my business, I got a PitchGround launch going on. I want to follow up and see where I am with all those people. Well, I have all this context here, right? I know that I have one-on-one communication because I can open the inbox and communicate with Jay directly. So I know I can communicate with Jay. I know he's hot. Ooh, he's got a lot of SE points. I can look, I just interacted with Jay 6 minutes ago, and he interacted with me 7 minutes ago, and I've got a schedule tomorrow. So if I had a list of people here, I would probably move down the list and say, I'm good to go with Jay. Jay and I just interacted. I've got a follow up tomorrow with him. So who else am I going to follow up with my business? Now I can also click back onto Jay's contact profile here. And we'll load that up. And I'm going to show you stages and products, because I think those are super important too. And there's something very unique about stages. So remember, these are the stages. Think about, for your business in particular, what are the stages that you want to take somebody through as you're talking to them and you're trying to close that business? So I'm going to click to edit stages. I can click here. Now, these stages are organized by type of contact. Let me tell you what type of contact is. I'm going to go back to the home page real quick here. I just go right over here. And at the top of the home page is these 3 different types of contacts. And so there's leads and there's customers and then network. Every business has a network of people that are in some way help support you, right? So they're your network. As an example, Richard, you're a part of my network, right? You're not necessarily a lead, but you're part of my network and help me build my business. So you can customize all of these. So you can click here and you can say, I don't want to say customer, I want it to say client. Oop. Rename it client and save. And now it says client. So now wherever, like on Smart Search or anywhere where you can pick different criteria, like I picked a search, Jay, where you came up, where I said all leads. I could have said, I want to do a search of all clients, right? And this is a dashboard that I can change this is your accountability measure. This is what a social network won't do. You set up your own goals. I've set up a goal of, I want to follow up with 15 leads every day. Now, as I follow up with a lead, when I followed up with you, Jay, that was 4 and it went to 5 of 15. I'm a third of the way to my goal for the day. So I've set up my own accountability measure on every single day. This is a habit of highly successful salespeople. You have quotas, right? Now, as a salesperson, you're working for somebody else. If it's your own business, you want to hold yourself accountable. You want to say, you know what, to really work my business, I'm going to make sure I'm going to follow up with X number of leads every day. I could change that. I could make that, say, 10 and save. And now I'm 50% of the way. So you decide, right? But we have people that started, like a woman started in the university or in LeadKlozer here. And she said, I've never followed up with clients. I just kind of never thought about doing that. So the very first day she said, I'm going to follow up with 3 clients today. She did, and she got a sale. She upsold one of her existing clients. She says, I never would have gotten that sale before, but now it's going to be in front of me every day with LeadKlozer, and I'm going to make sure I follow up with at least 3 clients every single day.
Right.
So we give you the ability to customize and create 3 broad categories of contacts. This should be some way leads or prospects, right? This should be clients or customers. And, some people, they might want to put down team or partners, whatever makes sense. You got kind of this 3rd wild card category over here. All right, let me come back to Jay. We'll go into your contact profile again. Oh, I got to log back into my account. So as we're loading it here, and I'm going to show us how to put stages, we're going to ask you to put together stages, assign stages, but attach them to one of those contacts, because you're going to have different closing stages for a lead, and you're going to have different closing stages to upsell a client or a customer, right? So When you assign a stage, we're going to ask you to create stages according to the different client or contact types you have. So I'm going to say that Jay has attended a webinar as a lead. This is something that I already put together. And it's do a timestamp. Well, that webinar was for today, so I'll leave that as that, and I'll save. So now I can do a search for everybody attended a webinar over a certain period of time, right? Then just adding to the way that I can create customized lists inside of Smart Search. So think through, what kind of tags and what kind of stages you want to create for your business. And you can always add more. You can always edit them. You can come over here and tag stages and products. Products are literally when somebody buys from you, what you need to do is you need to add in products. So we have a standard, professional, and expert plan with LeadKlozer. So if Jay, if you bought today, and now with PitchGround, you guys have different plans that you're buying. There's 7 different plans that you can purchase. But let's just say that you would come in traditionally and buy my standard plan today. Now it goes to standard, and if you saw up here, you changed automatically from a lead to a client. We did that for you because you just assigned a product tag. So we know that this person is a customer now, or what we've called it, a client. So really super important things here, and I can put down notes, about the call or what we had. Jay is a good guy. I hope you are, Jay. Right. So I can keep, track of nuances. I could click into contact details, and I can add phone numbers. Let's say, Jay, your phone number was, on the next call, you gave me a phone number, and you put in, let's just say it's this number here, and I hit save. Now, under contact details, it's going to have a number 1 because there's some details behind the contact, and I click on it. Oh, there's the mobile. Now, something else just happened. Because I added contact details that was a phone or an email that is a one-on-one communication, I come over here, and now I'm told there's 2 different ways that I have that I could one-on-one communicate with Jay. And if I go back to the home page, and I think I have to refresh just because this was an old tab that I had opened up. But now you should be in there, Jay, and we should see you as a hot lead, and we should see your one-on-one communication wherever I see you interacting with me should be, let's see here, Jay. Yep, it's telling me I've got 2 ways to interact now. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, hey, Richard.
Yeah,
you reacted to a couple of things. You left a comment for me. You know what? Just because I like Richard, I'm going to mark you as a hot network partner of mine. So I'm going to come over here, and it's just really easy, right? So let me just click on here. Richard and I are doing quite a bit right now to help promote LeadKlozer. So I mark you as hot. You're not a lead. You're a part of my network. And now I know every time that I see you come up, I know a lot more about Richard, right? And I have one-on-one communication with Richard because you commented on one of my posts, right? So this is the post you commented on. Hey, man. Good to hear from you. So because you had commented, there's 4 ways that somebody can have one-on-one communication that we identify inside of LeadKlozer. Phone number, email address, they've commented on a post or ad, or they've interacted with your chatbot / inbox. So we keep track of all of that for you. All right.
So we actually have a question about that. Is there a lead form integration?
Yes. So when you do Facebook lead ads, let me see if there's something on the home page. Let's see here. See this little, looks like a form.
Yep.
Rena Allen filled out a form. So there's two forms on Facebook. One is under two different Facebook ad objectives. One objective is a lead ad, right? And the other one is messages. So that has the button on it that says send message. Well, let me start with the lead ad form, right? The lead ad form, there's a form that they fill out. And actually, you don't have, that's the beauty of it. They don't have to fill it out because Facebook knows your name, they know your email address, and they know your phone number. So if those are the things that you have that you want your leads to fill out in order to take advantage, whatever your call to action is, then that form comes up on Facebook. It's automatically filled out. They can accept it. And then we get a line item that looks like this. Now, I think this is for the very Mary Van Doren Sugar Mama Strong page. She's a client of mine, and she does fitness solutions as a diabetic woman for other diabetic women. And she's doing a message ad. And so what that means is that the send message button is there, and you click on it, and it automatically starts a conversation with that person and their personal profile, their messenger account, through the Mary Van Doren Facebook page inbox. And you can automatically ask questions like, what's your phone, what's your email address, and it's pre-populated, and they just have to click a little button, yep, that's it. And Facebook calls those forms as well. So that's where you see, this is an ad campaign that this page is running right now, and these are leads. Look at, that's a lead, that's a lead, that's a lead. You click on it, and here is all the information that we collected from this form. And we created a new contact profile for them. So absolutely, we're fully integrated with the different ways that you can grab information out of a form or out of a conversation from that message ad, which creates a form from Facebook, because they feel that responding to the questions that are pre-populated that you create from that ad, that people are filling out a form of responses to your questions. So they look at it as a form.
So Jay has a follow-up question. He said that so if someone simply likes a post, we won't have a way to communicate directly with them. Is that correct?
If that's all they've done, then no. The ways that we have to communicate here are the ways that the social networks give us, right? So if somebody has only reacted, then no, you don't. But there's lots of people, like let's see this person here. So there's no one-on-one communication. So, and the smart scores are relatively low. She's probably, if we open her up, she's probably just reacted to one or two posts, right? And we don't have a way to interact with her. But it's the combination of, if you're engaging with people over your Facebook page, sooner than later, she's a like, and a smile. And a like, and a like, and a like, and a like, and a like. So basically, she's never given us the ability to communicate with her one-on-one. But here's the thing. What you want to do, and like Mary's really good, this is all off the Mary Van Doren page, is you put up those posts. We've seen them on Facebook, right? Where you ask a question. Like Mary will ask a question. She'll be like, hey, Sugar Mama community, are you type 1 or type 2 diabetic? Type 1 or 2 in the comments below. So you stimulate, you give people reasons to be commenting with you. And I guarantee you do that 2 or 3 times, Marcella, she'll end up commenting on one of them, and then boom. Not only do you have one-on-one communication established with her, but you see that this is actually a very engaged lead. Right. That's one comment, but you see the whole history, and you'll see the smart score points. And so it's really valuable to have all of this engagement history so that when you do have that one-on-one communication capability, you see the full picture. And then the next time she reacts to something, you're like, oh, I've got one-on-one communication with Marcella, and you're off and running.
Exactly. It's kind of like what we were doing earlier in this webinar. We were engaging with you guys because we wanted you guys to participate. And participation is very important because it helps us understand what you guys understand. At the same time, it helps you guys learn more about how to use this product in a effective manner. So if you guys have questions, make sure you drop them in the comments section. As you guys have seen, I'm going through all these questions. I'm making sure your voice is being represented. I am here to represent you guys. So help me help you. Help me be that bridge between you and Steve. And I'm going to do the vice versa for Steve. I'm going to help Steve get to know you guys better, engage with you guys, so that way you guys have an amazing experience using LeadKlozer. So Akim wants to know, can they be used to put into a custom audience? And Jay asked a very similar question. He wants to know, can we use these contacts to build a lookalike audience?
So that is a super good question. And I'm actually working with a few people right now to test that. Because wouldn't it be great to say, hey, create a smart search of everybody who has commented on my Facebook posts or ads over the last 30 days. That's a really engaged audience, right? They've commented with me. And then take that list and can I make a custom audience out of that? And then out of that custom audience, create a lookalike audience. Now, here's the thing, and it's actually another feature I've got to show you here. This is where Facebook makes it a little tricky. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to do that. Here's where Facebook makes it tricky. About a year and a half ago, they changed the way that they sent us contacts over the API. So in other words, if a contact interacted with your inbox, they would send us one contact ID. If that same person interacted by commenting on a post, they would send us for that same person a unique, a separate, a different contact ID. So what ends up happening? Guess what? There's duplicate contacts inside of LeadKlozer. So let me give you an example here. Let me bring one up. So here's a woman that I was interacting with. Look at that. I've got three. This is the same person, right? It's the same image, right? It's the exact same name. That is not a common name, right? So there's three different duplicate records here. So let me show you how we take care of this very, very easily. Over here in the sidebar, it says duplicate contacts, 397. So I open that up, and it shows me a whole list of people that I've got duplicate contacts with. One way is that Facebook gives us, right, with this Deb cipher, it as any app will create duplicate contacts, right, because it's giving us different contact IDs for the same person. Or this is a person that probably filled out a form, like a lead ad. Now, and then interacted with the page after that. What happens is when they fill out like a form, what Facebook sends to us isn't full information. All they send is a flat file of whatever fields were in that form. So they don't send us any contact ID information to hook it up with their actual profile. So you might get a person by the same name here that looks like, okay, well, who's this person? Who's this? Well, they're probably the same person, because when we were showing over here, you know, the people that were coming in with filling out different forms, right? That's why these people don't have pictures, because the only information that Facebook sends us is just a flat file of whatever was in that form. So anyways, we're going to, in a later webinar, we're going to show you how you can make your lead ads tons more successful. But if I come back over here, I'm going to show you how you can merge these people very, very easily. So like I can search for that Deb cipher person. There she is. So I know this is the same person, same image, same name, right? So I can just click check all, or I can individually check the boxes. And this is showing not only, you know, this information, but what Facebook page they came from, but also what their first interaction date was. And look at this, is all April 14th, around the same exact time, right? So these are the same people. So I'm just going to say merge all. If one of the people, like let's say this was Joe Smith, and two of the images were the same, but one wasn't, then I could say, I know that's not the right person, hide that person, and then they would go away. Or I could uncheck them and say, just merge these two. But I'm going to merge all three of these. And it's going to say select an image, because sometimes the images are different. I'm just going to select that one, and then they're done. no duplicates. Now when I go to look for this person, there's only one. So it's just that easy. And, when you're, let me go to another one, another example here. Like, let me put in another name, Alexis or something like that. Well, those are all different Alexises. When you go to the contact profile, there will be in the upper corner, there will be, let me show it to you. I'm going to go to our support site. I'm going to go to our merging duplicate contacts. This is support.leadklozer.com, and I'm going to show you how to get there from inside the app. How to manage duplicate contacts. So we have different, tutorials and different things. So you see right here this little duplicate, check duplicates. It appears like if there was this, looked like there was 2 treaty chappas at that time, right? So I went to one of their contact profiles, and it showed me there was a duplicate contact button. So I could just click on it, and I could, the application shows you at every opportunity, oh, there's a duplicate, you might want to merge those together. So as you're using it, you'll just merge the duplicates together, and then any interaction from that point forward comes into that one merged contact.
So Jay has a great question. Are there any data lost when you merge contacts?
Nope. And you can unmerge anytime that you want as well.
Oh, that's a great feature.
Yeah. So we allow you to merge and unmerge at will. So however you want to do it. Awesome. But I think that's a super important thing. Here is another super important feature. It's another one of our live interaction dashboards. So we were just, I'm talking with all my former university students, and, what is it you guys want to see? And, everybody in one shape or form was saying, well, I've got this post and this ad and that ad. And in order to check it out, what I've got to do is open up all these different browser tabs and get that post up and that one and this ad and that ad, so I can kind of see what's going on, or I have to one by one go to them. So we created what's called the Facebook Post Ad Tracker. You can get to it right here, or these are shortcut links on your main dashboard. You hover over it, Post Ad Tracker, just click on it. And what it brings up is a list of all your most recent highly engaged posts or ads. This is showing over the last 7 days, and it's showing engagements and reactions and comments. So we add these together to see what's the most engaged post or ad, and then I just click on it, and there it is. And I see, those are 17 comments. I can load those, and I'm off and running. I'm interacting with everybody. So it's a way for you to, without opening tabs all over the place, just see in priority order by most engaged, by what page. So if it's from different pages, we'll show the different page. And you can just pop it open and interact. And I can say, well, show me my most engaged posts or ads over the last 30 days. And now it resorts the list. And this is a different poster ad at the top up here, because over the last 30 days, it was a different one that got the most engagement. So I can click on it. Oh, it's actually the same one. No, there it is. It's a different one, right? It got 63 comments on it. So it allows you just to toggle back and forth and interact on your most engaged posts and ads just by opening up the post ad tracker.
So I think this is extremely powerful, because if you guys are spending money on ads, you want to make sure that whoever engages with you through the comment section, you're re-engaging with them so that you can get a sale out of that or turn that lead into a long-term client. And I think having it all compiled in one place is a game changer, because, I honestly can't find every single post, right? Because the way Facebook pages are working now, it recategorizes your landing page based on the most recent engagement. So it's not even shown in chronological order anymore. And I even have a hard time finding my own posts sometimes on the PitchGround page, because we have just so much activity on that page. So having this post ad tracker in one place will simplify the ability to look for a page because you're not going through Facebook's user interface, and it's all in one place, which is amazing. Like, this is one of my favorite features, if you guys can't tell. And this is what I wanted to share with you guys earlier. It's like, it will blow your mind because now instead of you digging around or looking for links, it's all already populated in one place, where if you have 63 comments, you can actually go through all 63 comments, leave a reply, but hey, thank you for your feedback, whatever. Message us if you're interested in our next deal, right? And you jump onto the next ad. You got 8 comments. You go through all 8 comments. Make sure you start that conversation with all those 8 people, and it blows people away because now you're showing them, hey, I'm paying attention to you. The last thing, and I've had this happen to me personally as a customer. I would message a ad because I have a question about their product, and they don't get back to me till like 7 weeks later when the promotion period is over, right? How many of you guys have seen that before, where you're shown a Facebook ad and it's like, hey, apply this discount code within the next week, and we will give you like XYZ for XYZ discount. And I'll ask a question, and I'll get like some sort of response weeks, if not months later. And that's a lost customer. I would have bought something. But because they didn't get back to me, I was like, well, it's too late now. I don't want to buy from you anymore. I completely forgot about your product. I completely forgot about your brand.
I hope everybody, there's 2 takeaways that I would like you to have from this webinar. One is, I'm not going to miss a new lead opportunity again, right? That means real business, real revenue for my business or my client's business. Secondly, I have so many ways that I can see high priority contacts, activity that I need to be following up with, that what ends up happening without a CRM system, right? You're trying to figure out what your priorities are. And so the people that we've interviewed in the development of LeadKlozer, they're saying, I used to waste, like if I had that hour a day, right, that I was following up with my leads, my business, I'd spend half of that time just trying to figure out who to be following up with and then refreshing myself on what happened, right? So just think about this. Here's one of the things I want you to do the very first, when you log into LeadKlozer. This is going to help you not save or not waste any time. You're going to look at Live Tracker, what's going on. You're going to have a tab for your columns open, and you're going to scan your columns the way you set them up. You're going to see, do I have anybody scheduled for today? Because if I do, I want to follow up with them. And then I want you to go to TRL, today's recommended leads. And remember we have these 3 different contact categories, contact types. So this is literally just a smart search that we just created a link for you. You click on it, and it brings up a list of all of your leads, ranked in priority order by Smart Score, so that you can take a look at them. They're 186, 163, 141. It gives you that bird's eye view. It shows you whether you have something scheduled or whether it was past due, what tags, stages, when was the last time you interacted with them, all the one-on-one communication, all the context. So there are 4 ways that you don't waste any time. Because you're looking at Live Tracker, you're looking at Live Tracker columns, you're looking at your schedules, and you're clicking open your today's recommended leads, all within the first few minutes. Think about the way that you used to do follow-ups before and the organization that you had before, right? Pretty amazing. You're going to be off and running, and you're going to be in what I call your core follow-up activity versus the setup time in order to start following up. So we literally have people saying that it saves hours a day, right? So like that means minimum 2 hours a day, right? So if it saves you 2 hours a day in your time, that's 2 hours more a day that you could be in those core follow-up activities. Think of what that would do for your business, right? So what we want to do is we want you to have exponential growth from your business because you're seeing leads and lead opportunities you never would have seen before. You know exactly what your priorities are for following up. You can even do all those custom smart searches to bring up the exact list of leads that you want to be following up with. You're setting schedules. You set your own accountability. if you're not successful after having the kind of Facebook ad campaigns and marketing campaigns that are getting engagements, if you're getting engagements for your business and you're not making sales, then it's probably because you don't have this kind of a tool at your disposal.
Absolutely. So Jay said he really likes this, and he can see how it just gets better and better as it evolves, and I guess as you show more content. And we, just so you guys know, we barely even scratched the surface. There are even more features that Steve has not shown you yet. So this is why, again, like I said in the beginning of this webinar, I am stoked. I am super excited about this launch. And if you guys actually want to see what the deal is, you guys can actually go to pitchground.com/product/LeadKlozer to check out the deals that we have available. But we're going to continue going through this webinar so we can demonstrate to you guys the full features of what LeadKlozer is. Ben asked a bunch of great questions. He wants to know, is there a public roadmap? That's the first question.
Yes. So we're putting that together, but here's the most important things. What we need to do is we need to be integrating other social networks. Now, every social network's API isn't equal to the others. So as one example, Instagram, great marketing platform, their API, I'm just going to say it directly, it sucks. You can't do hardly anything with Instagram on any social media marketing tool. So we're going to bring it in, and there's definitely things that you can do. But our next social network that we're going to be integrating is LinkedIn. And then another thing that we want to do is we want to have an integration with Zapier. And if you know what Zapier is, you integrate with Zapier, and then there's thousands of other apps out there that have integrated with Zapier. So as soon as you integrate with Zapier, you're integrated with the world. So let me give you an example. You do a Facebook lead ad, and in your lead ad form, you ask for an email address. That email address comes into LeadKlozer as part of the contact profile. If you had a Zap, then you could zap that email address over to your email marketing service, whether it's MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Aweber, Constant Contact, and you want to automatically have set up a drip email campaign to nurture that lead that came in from your Facebook lead ad, right? Well, in order to do that, we need to be integrated with the entire world of email marketing services. If we do it through Zapier, then you have to pay for that Zap, that LeadKlozer to your email marketing service, but you can do it, and you can set up those automations. And ultimately, we're going to have all the native integrations. So you could just go to your integrations on your account, and if you've got MailChimp, just set it up, and it'll automatically happen. But LinkedIn is the number one integration. And on top of that is Zapier. And then we'll keep adding the social networks.
So Akram wants to know if we will also offer webhooks.
Yeah, so we're going to end up having our own webhooks, and that's for a bit more of a sophisticated user of LeadKlozer, because then you can integrate with us. So yes, absolutely, we will have our own webhooks, and I love all these questions. We're brand new. We were in beta 2 days ago. So this is all great stuff, great feedback, and we're absolutely going to be doing it. No doubt about it.
We'll look into Integromat and SyncSpider as well, guys. So this is where we need to hear from you about what you're looking for in this platform. But for me, I personally see myself using it directly from the existing interface because it's so easy to use. As you guys can see, you don't have to leave the platform in order to do any type of engagement. You can fill in contact details, write updates, you can comment or open up whatever post that they engaged with to see how well it's performing. I don't think there's anything else out there in the world that gives you this type of data. This is something that is nothing short of it leaves me speechless, basically, because there's nothing in the world, and I've been looking for a really long time to find something that can do this. And when I saw LeadKlozer, I was like, nah, no way, this is not real. And then Steve demoed it for me live. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And even when you guys saw today with the live demo with Jay Power, where Jay was just engaging with the site, and you see it update so quickly on the platform. And it's crazy because that's how robust this system is. If you guys are looking for something that is going to help you track all your Facebook engagements on the fly, like if you guys look at the live tracker, look at the timestamp. It's literally happening at the second that you guys have these engagements. So you can either maybe have a virtual assistant manage all these comments, or if you don't have a VA yet and you're just a solopreneur, you can manage it on the fly on your own. Which leads to, I guess, a question that Jay asked: is there some sort of alert or sound for when somebody engages on Facebook and it pops up on LeadKlozer? Is that something that we can integrate so that way Jay can, respond to these questions on the fly?
So there isn't necessarily a sound, but that's why I recommend everybody has a second tab open and one for live tracker columns, because that's where you can just scan the important kind of activity that you want to make sure that you're having. So, let me just show you really quickly how easy it is to create a column. So I clicked on the add new column button, and I'll just say LeadKlozer inbox messages. Oh, ended up everything caps. Okay, and then I can write a description down here. I won't waste our time doing that, but whatever that is. And then I'll come in here, I'll pick the social networks. Well, Facebook is our only integration right now, so it's selected automatically. Facebook pages, I don't want all those other pages for this column. I just want LeadKlozer. And do I want messages from all types of my contacts, or do I want messages just from leads? Maybe I'll just do leads, from leads. And then I'll come down here. I want it, from all leads, whether they're hot or whether they're warm. I'm just going to leave all of those. And under engagements, I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to pick not the forms, not the reactions, not the comments, just inbox messages, and save. It was that simple to put together a new column. Now, this new column is going to it'll automatically come up at the left over here. I think this is taking just a little bit. We're sharing our video and everything over this. So it's going to populate. That's my new column. Now, if I want to reorder my column, I'm just going to sort columns. And let's say that, I wanted my lead ad forms to be on top, and then the inbox messages from leads right there. So I just hit save, and it's going to reorder all these columns, and lead ad form will go over to the left here.
That's awesome. So Ben also has another question. Do you have a canned answers feature? So basically like pre-populated templates of what you can send to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just stop this right over here. Over here on the left-hand navigation is an area called scripts. And so that's your canned response, right? So, maybe when somebody, you ask them to reply on an ad in a certain way, and you want to have a setup way that you're going to respond to them, right? So over here, scripts, we'll click on that. And it allows you to create scripts that's basically just saved text, right? So how is LeadKlozer different? So that's an answer that I answer a lot, right? So I could come over here and I can edit it, and here's my canned response. Now I can just copy to clipboard instead of highlighting and copying. I can copy it and then go back to wherever I was interacting and paste. And you see these priorities here? So when you create a new script, test script, and here's the script itself, it's going to ask what stage do you want to apply it to. And let's say, I shared pricing with somebody, right? Every time I shared pricing, here's the script that I have that I use when I send the pricing out, right? So it's going to ask me, it's going to organize my scripts based on contact type, lead, client, or network, and my what stage that for each of those contact types that I want to associate it with. So that way, I'm going to save it. And there's my new test script, right? And this priority, this is the priority that I gave to the stage. We actually never went through that. Let me click over to stages here. We want you to tell LeadKlozer when you create a new stage. So here's stages for leads, clients, and networks overall. And we created them when Jay, when we were on your contact profile, right? But I can also, this is all the stages that I have that are available to apply to any of my contacts. So that shared pricing, now there's 15 contacts that have the shared pricing. I can see them right there. But this priority 7, I'm going to edit this. We want you to tell us on a scale of 1 to 10 how important this particular stage is. Because as you assign stages, then a lead has progressed. Like they're accomplishing these stages, these nurturing stages to close that business. And not every stage is equal to another. But shared pricing is pretty important, right? So I might actually want to make that a 9 out of 10 and update that. Now, whenever I apply the shared pricing stage to a contact, LeadKlozer knows that's much more important than the webinar stage, right?
Right.
Because it's got a 9 versus a 6. So we, in our algorithm, change the SMART score. When you apply a stage to somebody, we increase their SMART score. How much we increase it in our algorithm depends on the priority that you gave it. So back to the scripts here, there's a list of priorities here because the scripts are associated with certain stages. So this is a script for a very high priority shared pricing stage, right? So there's context in our scripts page here. And I could go and I can duplicate it, I can delete it, right? I can copy to clipboard. If I don't have to go and open it up to see, I was like, oh yeah, I want that script for the shared pricing. I copy it. And then now I'm ready to paste it, no matter where I'm interacting. So I think was it Jay that you had the question about?
It was Ben. So Ben actually wants to know
Ben.
if you can put like a button closer to the bell with the list of canned responses pre-populated. So when they click on it, it automatically copies, I guess, the script. So that way they don't have to click on the script's menu bar. They want to know if it's possible from I guess basically wherever you are in LeadKlozer to pull a script that's already made.
Right.
Right. I think that's what they're asking. So I think that's a great idea.
Oh, okay.
Something we can explore.
Yeah, you know what? We might want to add something up here for scripts that just has a drop down of your scripts and a little, copy to clipboard. So no matter where you are, you could just go to the top of the page, see your scripts, copy to clipboard, and then you've got it for wherever you are, and you can just paste it right there. I like that.
Exactly what Ben likes. That's exactly what Ben wants.
Ben, I am writing that down right now. That's a great idea. Ability to access scripts and copy from the top of any page.
Ben. We're here to support you in your business. Again, this is basically like a partnership, right? We want to make sure that you guys are happy with the software. It's doing what it's supposed to do within obvious means. And this is how we all win. That's what makes PitchGround so great. This is one of the reasons why I asked Udit, hey, can I be a part of your team? Because I think what you're doing here is going to change the world. And if you guys don't know what our company mission is, check out our about page on pitchground.com because we literally want to help 1,000 businesses find success within our industry, within SaaS, within our entire education first approach of helping businesses scale. And we want to help you so bad. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but we have all this content coming out. We have every single vendor that we've partnered with for the last 6 weeks. They're going to come out with 8-hour webinars each. So that's over 48 hours of content across multiple industries, from Facebook marketing, Facebook CRM, social media marketing, website building. Like, we have every single category you can think of to help you guys build your business. So that's why we're so excited to be here to help you guys accomplish these goals with amazing software while teaching it to you guys for free. So what else do you have to show us, Steve? I feel like there's things that you.
Well, you know what? Let's. I think there's two things I'll show real quick.
Yeah.
And then we've gone over quite a bit, because there is that support site.
Yep.
And you can access it. All these features have a little question mark. You click on it, and it says something about what this Scripts thing is, and learn more or watch a short demo for Scripts by clicking here. That will automatically open up the support site to the page on Scripts. And then we have a whole tutorial: what are Scripts, how are Scripts handled uniquely. We have examples of certain kinds of scripts. And then we almost always have a demo video down below. So that's a really important feature. When you've got a question, there's an entire support site that's easy to access. You can go directly to support.leadklozer.com. You can click on one of the little tips here. The big question mark at the top of every page takes you right to the homepage on the support site. But you can also, when you get to the support site, there's different categories. Right. So, like, if you wanted to know how to, get started, there's a getting started list. So there's a list of things that we actually recommend that you do in priority order, like setting up tags and stages and different things, so that when you're interacting, you've got your important ways to categorize people done. So, there's other things I'll just, touch on really quickly. Under Facebook, something called Smart Facebook Page Inboxes. That you're going to love. So here's the inboxes for all of the pages I have attached to my account. And I can just go into any one of these. And we've recreated the Facebook page inbox for you. So you don't have to go to different tabs. So there's Raina, and there's the full conversation right there. I can switch. I can go over to LeadKlozer. And Jay, you'll be up here. And I think I saw Sebastian. He just interacted with us. He sent us a message there too. But there's the full interaction, Jay, that we had from earlier. So I can toggle back and forth between the full inboxes of all my Facebook pages without ever leaving LeadKlozer and opening up 4 different tabs for 4 different pages. It's huge, absolutely huge. The last thing I'll show here is I can just click into my account profile area, and I can change the photo that's associated. I can change my email. I can make sure that my phone number and my time zone, because we timestamp everything, right? You can also add users to your account. So based on the type of plan that you buy from PitchGround, this is unlimited, 999 of 999 invites. You might have 5 different users you can invite. You just click to invite a user, put in their name, email, and a little special note to them, and send an invite. They'll show up down here as an invited user. And as soon as they get their email and they log in as a user to your account, they become active. And now you could have a VA, like you had said, Richard, or your other business partner, right?
Right.
You'll still be the admin of the account, right? But they can get in and do anything that we've shown today. What they can't do is delete your account. What they can't do is delete one of the Facebook pages that you have attached to your account. They can't change billing information, right? But they can get in and they can interact in any way. So, very, very important if you want to have more than just you interacting inside of your account to get more support, you're going to want to add users. And it's just under the account profile, my users.
Awesome. So the final thing that we're going to show you guys today is the actual deal. So if you guys all go to pitchground.com/product/LeadKlozer, or click the link that popped up in front of you guys and visit the page, we'll have Steve walk through all the different plans. So Steve, can you also go to the PitchGround site?
Okay.
So we're going to walk you guys through The deal
PitchGround.com. What was the full URL?
slash
Sorry.
products slash LeadKlozer. All right, so here's the LeadKlozer page on PitchGround. The deal is phenomenal. If you guys look at that, it's $59 for initial offering. Like, it blows you away. But I want to highlight on the agency, because the agency is a unbelievable steal of a plan. Like, it blows my mind. Like, think about it. If you have your own business, right, and you can manage multiple pages for yourself, and you're increasing your sales. What if you guys, and I think there was one person on the call today who is an agency. If you guys have an agency and you can build up your clients' sales, what will that look like for you? That will not only secure your revenue stream, you can even work out some sort of bonus based on performance, right? So if you can convert their customers faster, better, and you use LeadKlozer to help you do that, your clients will be blown away, and they're going to keep referring you additional business because they will never see anybody else do something like this. So you guys have the first dibs on impacting all the people on Facebook who are using Facebook as either a customer, using it as a business, using it as an agency, using it as some sort of lead magnet. You guys have the first dibs of going out there, leveraging off LeadKlozer to increase those sales, increase those interactions, and basically not leave any money on the table. So Steve, why don't you actually walk us through each plan that's available, so that way our customers can make the best decision.
So where do I go to see all the plans?
Oh, you basically have to scroll down.
Going. So, just keep scrolling down. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the first plan is an individual plan. So you buy, a $59 coupon code, and you can attach up to 5 pages to your account. You will be the admin. You have unlimited access to all the features that you were seeing today. Unlimited contacts. You never get limited by how many contacts are automatically created for you and inside. All the live interaction dashboards from Live Tracker columns, Facebook post ad tracker, the search and follow-up dashboards. So that was the smart search and the today's recommended leads and things like that. The smart schedules, lead priorities and messaging, the smart Facebook inboxes. We just went over that. The whole lead scoring system. I mean, that's without prioritizing leads, and it's all done automatically for you, then no CRM system is worth its weight, at all, because you can't prioritize leads. So this is our Smart Score lead scoring system. And then 60 days refund policy. So as you scroll down the page, you keep adding features. So now for $118, you get 10 pages and you get a user account. If you scroll down and you buy the 177 plan, you get 15 pages, you get 2 users. And then you keep going, 20 pages, 3 users, unlimited contacts. And then I think this is where we get into the first agency plan. And this gives you not only unlimited Facebook pages for your main agency account, so your account, right? But then, and you're the admin of it, we're going to give you 10 sub-accounts. So if you've got 10 clients, right? Or you want 10 clients you want to get on here, then you can open up a LeadKlozer account for every single one of your clients. That just to make sure that we are working on the sub-account feature right now. So that's going to be out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if you buy an agency plan, then it allows you just to log into your main account and then just toggle between your agency accounts. So you don't have to log out of your account, log into client A's account, log out of client A, log into client B. They'll just all be in a drop down, and you can just toggle in between, and the dashboard changes and represents just whatever client you're on. So you'll get 10 team members or users that are allotted to any of the accounts. And again, unlimited contacts. And then it just keeps going up. The agency plan gets better. You get into 25 sub-accounts and 25 team members. And I think the final one, there's another one that's not listed here.
Oh,
we need to get listed. Yeah, there's one that actually gets you, I think it's $1,180, and it gets you 60 sub accounts. So some tremendous opportunity there.
Okay, and Jay wants to know, what is a user account?
So a user account, think of yourself, Jay, like you open up your account, you're going to be an admin of that account, right? And you want to have a virtual assistant. You want to have a role that you can add somebody else in that is a user on your account. So they'll log in and they'll be able to see your dashboard, interact in all the ways that we showed today. But where they're limited, where they're different than you as the admin role, they're a user role. So they won't be able to change billing status, delete your account, delete Facebook pages, that kind of thing. But they'll be able to do all the interaction and engagement. So if you want somebody helping you on your business, you want to have the ability to add a user. And that's what a user is.
Awesome. I hope that answered your question. Let me double check to see if we have any additionals. So some people ask us very similar questions. Can you use the lead data to send via webhook to another system? So that is a webhook, which is on the roadmap down the road. What's the speed of the new platform? As you guys can see, is lightning fast. I even played around with the Facebook page myself by going to LeadKlozer's Facebook page, and sent a comment, and you guys saw it appeared on the newsfeed right away. So it's in real time. But Dan also wants to know, is there an app on the roadmap? So I guess like a standalone app for a phone.
Yep. So we're still optimizing mobile, but you can just log into LeadKlozer through any mobile browser and use it right there.
Awesome. Someone asked about creating custom audience. We also answered that earlier. Let's see what else. You guys have any more questions for us? Ben wants to know, is there a demo version of LeadKlozer with random data? Ben, I feel like the best way to get results is actually using it yourself against your own pages, because random data is not going to mean anything to you, because if you are looking to see how much opportunity you've missed out on in your business through your Facebook page or your client's Facebook page, the best way to look at it is by examining what you're currently doing versus what it could look like using LeadKlozer. Because if you guys get random data, I don't think it's going to help you make a decision on how best to use LeadKlozer, right? And if you guys are leveraging off your own data, now you know exactly, like, oh, I talked to Ben last week, I talked to Jay last week, I talked to Sharon last week, I talked to Arthur last week. Oh, I forgot to follow up on Dan though. Let me follow up on Dan right now, right? Like your ability to, well, Ben, it's the easiest way to demonstrate to your partners, right? If you want, you go to your partners and say, hey, we've been missing out on leads. Let me show you all these people that visited our Facebook page and said, hey, guess what? We missed out on 20 out of the last 40 people who engaged with our Facebook. Oh, you don't have a Facebook page. Gotcha. Shown this video.
So yeah, there's if you go to leadklozer.com and you click on features and demos out of the main navigation, what we've done is we've taken the top 15 features and organized them. Like, here's all your live interaction dashboards. And I think my internet connection is really slow because like the PitchGround page went slow. This is loading slow. But you have here all videos and a short overview of all the top features. And so if you want to share it with somebody, this is a great way for them to go in and say, oh, what's a contact profile? Let me take a look at that. What's this whole smart search thing? Let me just look at that. We don't have a demo account with dummy feeds and info because it requires a real Facebook page, right? So we can't I guess we could create dummy Facebook pages and hire hundreds of people to be out there interacting with it, but we haven't done that, right? So like all the demos that I have, those were pages, like Mary Van Doren's page and the Parker Fit Body Bootcamp page. Those are clients of mine that have allowed me to be able to show and demo off of their page. Basically, everything you saw there is in the public domain, except for the inbox messages, right? So, you interact with a Facebook page, it's all public information. Anybody could go online and see it. I hope that answers your question. And there's a 60-day, money back guarantee refund period. So what I would say is open up a Facebook page, right? Just create an initial welcome to the world post, and have one or two of your friends go and like it and see that it's coming into LeadKlozer, right? And design your first ad campaign to boost out. And start getting some engagements, and you'll have LeadKlozer from the very beginning, the first organic leads that are coming in for your business. So that would be my recommendation. Hopefully that answers your question.
Awesome. We also have another question coming in from Arthur. He wants to know, or he's saying that he knows that Facebook groups are tricky, but are there any plans if they become possible?
So when I started the development of LeadKlozer as a business, they were part of the API. I wish they were still a part of it. They just aren't. So we have to work with the limitations of what data that Facebook sends to us. So any of the engagements and interactions inside of your Facebook groups is not part of what will come into LeadKlozer. But one of the things that I will say is that once somebody is in your group, I think of LeadKlozer as the initial stage of engaging and creating leads at the top of the funnel, right? All the funnel always goes down like that. So once they're in your group, right, you've got a captive audience. You can always tag them in the group. You can communicate with them anytime you want. It would be great to have it in there. I'm not saying that. And I was disappointed when they took it out of the API. But in terms of the lead acquisition at the top of the funnel, you've got everything you need inside of LeadKlozer.
Right. So Ben also has another question. He said he's interested in your agency plan, but most of his clients only have one Facebook page. So he's losing basically 4 Facebook pages per sub account, I'm assuming. Is it possible to change this? So once you guys get a agency account, you can run unlimited accounts from your account. If you're reselling the service, so that way your clients will manage their own account, then that's what the sub accounts would ideally be for. So if you want a hands-off, so you can offer your clients 2 options. You can say, I'll help you with that. Or if you want to manage it yourself, this is that cost, right? And then you can send them an invoice every month for whatever the cost is that you want to charge.
Yeah, that's what agencies typically do, is you buy it for this, and then you decide whatever cost you want to, charge your clients for. But if each of your clients has one Facebook page, great, right? So they've got one page attached to their LeadKlozer account, but it still does everything, tracks all of those interactions, has all the benefits, and you have the benefit of being able to, just toggle in between each of your clients' accounts. And here's what's going to happen. So I ran an agency. I was the director of client service for a top 10 digital agency. That's where I had Procter & Gamble and Nike and Visa and Miller Brewing as clients. Every client, no matter how big or how small they are, in some way, shape, or form comes to you at some point and says, it was neat, the engagement I saw there, but we're not really getting a lot of leads and they're not good quality. Well, first off, you should never, ever be judged by just engagements. Right. And that's the way that a lot of they're like, look at the engagements we're getting on our ads or this. When I went to the last traffic and conversion summit from a company called Digital Marketer, and they're one of the 2 biggest digital marketing, social media marketing agencies, trainers in the world. And their CEO, Ryan Dice, got up on stage. There were 6,000 of us out there, small business owners, digital agency owners, social media consultants. And he said, I want to recommend a new key performance index, a new KPI for you. And he said, how many of you are trying to have an actual conversation with your clients? or your prospects, or that your clients you're doing work for want to have an actual conversation. In the room, the hands just went up. Like over 2/3 of the room was like, hey, yeah, absolutely me. So what you can be doing with your clients is you can say, I want to show you how many conversations I'm starting with your business, not just how many engagements we're getting with our across all this activity. What really matters is I want you judging us as an agency on how many conversations we're getting you into. And then inside of LeadKlozer, you can see how many conversations are being followed up with, right? So, I've told that to agencies that were like presenting at Social Media Marketing World in early March before all the conferences got stopped. And they were like, that's brilliant. Yeah, I would much rather be, have my performance measured on the conversations that we're creating versus just total engagements. It's much better for us as an agency. It's much better for our clients. The value you will get out of an agency plan and how you can provide value to your customers, whether they have just one Facebook page or multiple for their businesses, that doesn't matter. It's getting whatever they're doing or you're doing for them in marketing their business on Facebook and getting it into a CRM, whether it's 1 page or 2 pages, doesn't matter. Tremendous value you're going to be able to provide. And a point of difference, because we're just coming out. Not every agency has LeadKlozer on their side. So the fact that you're able to do the kind of things that we were talking about today on behalf of your clients, no other agency is going to be able to provide that. So right away, this is a competitive point of difference and advantage that you as an agency can have that no other agency has right now.
Absolutely. So Ben also has another question. He wants to know, is it possible to block a main account from seeing or controlling a client's sub-account, except for shutting down the sub-account, of course? And the reason why is because sometimes his clients prefer not to give him access to their accounts.
So that's a good question. We haven't had anybody ever ask us that question before. It's a little bit odd that they want you to have access and then sometimes they don't. But let me write it down. Let me put it down for the sub accounts, whether we could, hide the sub account for a little while without deleting it.
So Ben, typically as an agency, when you sign up a client, you're letting them know like, hey, we're going to be working on your behalf. So that includes typically seeing the conversations that you're having with their client.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's very unusual for them to ask that you don't engage.
Right.
Simply because why else would they hire you? It doesn't make they would hire you and you would have no part to play in whatever role or whatever service you're selling, right? So that's the way basically where you have to shift that value proposition where you say, hey, I'm going to help you with your ability to get more leads by using this software. And by using this software, I can help you guys by coaching you guys along or helping you classify certain types of leads, etc. Big brands sometimes want consulting without managing. Right. So you don't have to log into their account. It's not, as long as you're the primary owner, the only person that they would have to worry about would be you, right? So if you don't log into their account and you tell them, hey, I'm not going to log into your account unless you give me the express permission to, that's basically all you have to say to them.
It's the same thing you do when they have to give you permission within the business manager to have agency access to their ad accounts. And what they're going to say is, okay, well, don't create ads on our behalf, right? And without telling us, there's just a certain amount of trust that, when they add you as an agency, that you're not going to do wild and crazy things. You're not going to change their budgets. You're not going to change dates for ads to run. There has to be a level of trust between you and the client. So I think what Richard is saying is probably a good case, which is, if they don't want you interacting in there, then don't use LeadKlozer to interact. Just use it to report.
All right. Any other questions, guys? These are all great questions. We welcome all types of questions, and we do our best to answer them all to the best of our ability. So let's see what else.
And I'm going to be inside the PitchGround group, and I'm going to be monitoring the Facebook the inbox for LeadKlozer. So if you guys have questions after the fact as well, just post into the PitchGround group, Facebook group, or just send me a message directly on the LeadKlozer Facebook page, and we'll get all your questions answered.
Awesome. So make sure you guys grab the deal right now, so that way you guys can be the first to start using it, start demoing it to your customers, and run your social media business like none other. So I'm excited to see what you guys will do with your clients. I'm excited to see the results. I would love for you guys to actually keep track of your weekly engagements. Write it down, screenshot it, whatever you guys got to do. But I would love to see how well this is performing for you guys, so that way we can kill it in the system. So that's my time for today. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us and demoing LeadKlozer for our community. The replay will go out to you guys. So if you guys were not able to watch the whole thing, or you guys had calls to take, I know a couple people had to buy and go, don't worry, this replay will be sent to you as long as you're registered for our webinar series. So we are going to kill it this week. We're going to kill it this month. We're going to kill it in a COVID-19 environment where most businesses are stuck. We're going to go out there and lead by example and change the world by changing the way you guys engage on Facebook. So thank you all so much for joining us on the call today. We look forward to seeing you on the next call. Make sure you guys mark our emails. This is important. Mark our emails as important, so that way you guys know exactly when and where we're going to be going live. So, Steve, any last words for our viewers?
Well, just thanks for the time. It's 2 hours here, but hopefully you've got a lot more hope about your business, whether it's your particular business or it's a client's business, that what you can do and accomplish with your social media marketing like you've never had before. That's the goal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for joining us on the call. You are awesome. Continue to stay awesome, and we will see you soon. Goodbye now.